I need some backup. I need some backup. I need some people to chime in, and we need to get him to watch the John Wick series. It's worth it. They're great movies. They're literally great movies. Welcome to the Weekly Fix podcast, where we're just two friends talking about our passions within movies, TV shows, gaming, and comics. Thanks for checking out the podcast. We hope you like it. Hello and welcome to Weekly Fix. I'm your host Zayne, and joined with me as always is Jacob. Now, it's the start of a month, so you guys know what that means. If you've been here for any time, you know it's time for a rundown. What's coming out in August? What can you anticipate viewing? What should you skip? And is there anything worth spending our time on? August, the little bit of the lull, as we exit the summer and start to enter the school year. This is where the tail end of movies kind of trickle in. This is not the hot spot. But that doesn't mean there's nothing worth watching. But before we get into all of that, Jacob, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. We had like you said, it's starting to wind down a little bit, which I'm not going to complain too much about with how crazy July was with movies and shows and all sorts of stuff coming out. It's kind of nice to have a little bit of a slowdown. So I'm excited to talk about this stuff. There's probably some stuff that I should have on my radar that I don't. So I always look forward to this episode to see if there's anything that's going to catch my eyes. Hopefully it also helps some of the listeners as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's just so much in this digital age of content and media. Like, how do you keep up with everything? It's tough. It's tough for us. There's stuff that slips under our radar. So if you're not in this realm of watching what's coming in and coming out, it's definitely something that would be easy to not have any clue if there's something good out or coming around the corner. But before we get to that, like you said, winding down, good. Do you have any? Do you have a good weekend?
Yeah, I can't complain. We had a pretty busy weekend. I actually helped my wife shoot a wedding for the very first time. I was her second shooter. If you guys didn't know, my wife does photography on the side and stuff. So that was fun. It was definitely an experience. Hopefully I at least got a few pictures that she's proud of and she might be able to use in her her stuff for that. But other than that, it wasn't too crazy. We did that Friday night. We actually went on like a little date night to a new restaurant here in Jacksonville. Well, not new restaurant, new to us restaurant in Jacksonville, called the Brick Restaurant, which I don't know if you've been there.
Oh, nice. In
it was
Avondale?
really good. What is it?
In Avondale?
Yes.
Yeah, very good. Very solid salads.
Yeah. See, I saw those on the menu, and I actually almost got one for a second, but I was like, nah, there's no way. I had to get a steak. So we did that Friday night. Like I said, Saturday, we spent most of the time at the wedding, and then actually got my wife to watch The Amazing Spider-Man, the first one, for the very first time. She had never seen either of the Andrew Garfield movies. And with all the Spider-Man news that we're about to get into, I figured it might be fun to watch that and kind of enjoy the, Spider-Man Day on August the 1st and all that stuff. So we had to participate a little bit with some Spider-Man stuff. But other than that, we didn't do a whole lot of anything. How was your weekend?
Man, it was really good. Spent a lot of time just doing some house repairs. Some of the stuff that slacked. It's been so hot here in Jacksonville. We've had Tampa Bay recorded their first ever 100-degree day this week. Because of the humidity in Florida, it doesn't get that hot because as the temperature rises, the saturation point, it's hard to reach those higher numbers, but it has not been hard this week. We have been dying down here.
Yeah.
So I've avoided some of the manual labor in the yard, but I had to get to it. And then worked on some of my doors. We had some doors that were struggling to be opened by our children. And, it's nice to have functional doorknobs. Once again, it was frustrating. But it was good. Then church on Sunday, and we got to actually celebrate one of our good friends, Emily's birthday. So we got to go out and have some sushi. So that was, really good, awesome. So, it was a great weekend.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But you mentioned Spider-Man news, and we did have some pretty big Spider-Man news dropping, and not so much news as in a straight up reveal. We got to look at the new freshly made Spider-Man suit. Now, Jacob, I know you kind of had almost like not, I would say, an anticlimactic reaction in our group chat to this. What is your feelings about the Spider-Man suit? Does this tell you anything about the movie? How we're gonna go? Did you see some of the set leaks? What's your buzz around all this Spider-Man news?
Yeah, I'm excited about all the news in particular, and I have to say, I think this is by far the best Spider-Man suit we've gotten in the MCU so far. So all those things are great. One of the things I didn't like as much when we got the last swing suit, as they call it, from No Way Home, was how shiny the blue was. I don't know if you remember. It was like almost like a chrome blue at the end of that movie. I'm super happy that's dialed back a whole lot. It's a lot darker blue. It feels like a lot more Spider-Man-esque. So all that stuff I'm really happy about. I think the biggest thing that's got me excited for this is the fact that we've gotten set leaks already, and Tom Holland is literally in the suit. I know in so much of the recent Spider-Man movies, he's really just been a lot of CGI with like the Iron Spider stuff and all that stuff. This seems like they're really trying to get back to those practical effects, which is something that we've talked about a lot more recently here in the Marvel Universe, is them trying to tone back on some things, maybe not use as much CGI when you have the opportunity to just make a good suit. And I gotta say, I think Marvel's really moving in the right direction as far as live action suits are concerned. Obviously, recently I'm thinking about like the Wolverine suit from Deadpool and Wolverine. Such a great suit, so comic book accurate. And then we had a great Fantastic Four suits recently, and now this. So I think all those things are really exciting. I'm still on the fence on if it's the best live action suit, because I really do think the Amazing Spider-Man 2 one is just the pinnacle of Spider-Man suits with the big eyes. It's very, cartoonesque, like comic booky looking. And this one did keep the Tom Holland's eyes, which I don't necessarily hate, because that is the one thing that really does ultimately separate the Spider-Mans at the end of the day, is their masks. So I kind of like that they kept his for this, but overall, I definitely can't complain with anything. I think everything I've seen so far has been a big plus for me.
Yeah, and I love what you mentioned about him being in the suit. That was something I really wanted to harp on. Like, it is so nice to see that like he is actually on set in the suit. We're gonna get some practical effects. We saw some wire work being shown, him interacting with children in the street that were just like whether that's on set or just like him talking to other like people in the street. Like, it's so cool. Like, I do really enjoy practical filmmaking as much as like effects can enhance a movie. I hate when it runs a movie. So I'm really happy to know that like we are actually going to get some practical effects from this. So very exciting to me for that aspect. And I am also glad that they dialed down the blue. And I really didn't have a problem with the color. It was more the texturing. When it
Yeah.
is that slick and shiny, it doesn't feel real. It feels like it's like either metal and it's too metallic-y when it's supposed to be a fabric look. And I think it can really get the illusion of actually seeing what it is gone. So I'm thrilled with it. And I'm also glad to see that they're filming. I didn't even know that they had finished a script. I hope the set leaks calm down though, because I
Yeah.
really don't want to. I don't want to know too much about it.
Yeah, that's definitely, I think, a point I want to touch on for sure, is how much we have had leaked already, and we're like a day in the filming. I think that's crazy. And I've been seeing pictures and videos of like just the streets lined with people literally just holding their phones out, getting really good shots of scenes that are being, cast for the movie. So I hope I'm the same way. I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm like, all right, this is fun. I've enjoyed these little leaks. I've enjoyed seeing the suit. But I think it's time to slow down on that stuff. And I think today it's been a little bit more slower. I haven't seen as many leaks today. So maybe they let these fans have their fun, get their little videos and stuff out of the way early on. And hopefully it kind of goes quiet from here on out, because I feel like we've seen enough, as if we weren't already going to be excited for a Spider-Man movie, that it's time to slow it down a little bit, because it ultimately feels like we're going to have like the whole movie, recorded from the side of the street before we know it.
And when they do these onset practicals, it is hard. Like, you can't isolate an entire city.
Yeah.
So there's almost no way. But they've almost embraced it this time, which I enjoy. Like, Tom Holland himself put out a
Yeah.
video, like a picture of him in wire work, which I really liked. Like, that's kind of what we're going for. So we want to make sure that we get the full effect. We don't want to miss anything. So yeah, I kind of think back to like the Deadpool Wolverine when we started to see all the set leaks, and like they were in a remote location and we started to see spoilers from that. And even in that moment, like I don't think everything was spoiled, even though I didn't really look for those spoilers as much. I'm pretty good at being in it, but being able to avoid it, it's kind of crazy. Um, but hopefully it's not too bad.
Yeah,
So,
definitely just tone it down a little bit. But if anything, they've done a really good job of getting a lot of people excited. And I feel like if there was a movie that you are going to have these kind of leaks for early on, I think Spider-Man's like the perfect one. Because Spider-Man just always feels like he's the most charismatic hero. He's the most fun. Like all of those things kind of play into this a little bit. So if anything, it has added a little bit of more fun to the aspect of this new movie coming out.
oh yeah, for sure. And I'm excited to see John Bernthal and what they're going to do with that. It's kind of I don't know how they're going to do that in a PG-13, how they're going to please everything, but I'm excited to see him try to balance it.
Well, it's really interesting. Like, how is he? By all the leaks that we've seen, he's supposed to fight the Hulk. We're supposed to see him fight Spider Man. I hope they give him some gear or something to make it at least an interesting fight. Because just one on one, I don't know how well he could fare up, especially against someone like the Hulk, right? But
The Punisher, he just dies.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, hopefully he gets some gear or something that makes it actually like worthwhile. But it'll be fun to see it play out nonetheless.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be a movie to look for. I know it's your most anticipated movie of the year, right? Of next
Oh,
year?
yeah, absolutely. I can't think
Over
of anything else
Doomsday.
that. Yes, yeah, by far for me, it's really not even close. I think I sent you that picture the other day where it's like, if you only watch one of these movies next year, which one are you picking? It was like Doomsday, Spider-Man, Supergirl, and I think it was Clayface was the fourth one. Um,
Yeah.
and for me, it's Supergirl and Spider-Man by far, and Doomsday is not like super far behind, but just something about having Spider-Man is just like he's my favorite hero, so obviously that's going to have my interest peaked. And then just with the start we're off to with the DC universe, I can't help but be excited for Supergirl. So hopefully Spider-Man gets me even more excited for Doomsday, which I'm sure it will at some point throughout the movie. We'll start to see some tie-ins, but I think it's going to be a really good year next year for comic book movies, which that would be back-to-back years of really good comic book movies. So I think we're right where we want to be as far as comic book podcasters are concerned.
Oh yeah, plenty. We talked about 7 Marvel projects released already. What a wild time. What a wild time to be in the Marvel community. So,
Yeah, there's always something, always something.
but talking about releases, 7 Marvel projects. Let's go ahead and get into our rundown. We don't have a lot going on this week. We didn't get to the theater and watch anything, but we still want to get you guys our rundown. And one thing that did pop out this weekend, which I'm guessing you didn't get a chance to watch, was Wakanda or Eyes of Wakanda.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get a chance to check this out at all?
No, I have seen some clips from it though, and I gotta say I kind of like the animation. I have not watched a single episode. I've not even started or anything, but I've started to see some clips. I think the animation looks interesting, and I haven't heard anything negative about it, but I also haven't really heard any positives. So I'm interested to see if you have any insight on it.
Yeah, so I did click through a little bit. We just had some other stuff that we've been watching, and I didn't have time to. Chelsea said she had absolutely zero interest in turning that on, and when the wife doesn't want to watch it, it really does lower my ability to want to turn it on. It just doesn't pique my interest as much. I saw some parts of the story that just kind of seem to undercut a little bit of what they've done in the past. So with that being said, I hadn't turned it on, but I agree with you. The animation from what I've seen looks great. It looks like they're really gonna kill it, but we'll see. Who knows, right? It's potential just meh
Yeah.
for dropping an entire miniseries. It just seems kind of silly to drop it the week after Fantastic Four. Like, Marvel, I love you, but you're doing too much. Like that's crazy. Like dial it back just a little bit. So
How long are the episodes for it?
they're about an hour long, I think.
Oh, okay.
So
See,
it's not.
I wasn't. I thought when like I'd heard all these like mini series and stuff, I was like, oh, maybe they'll take like the Tales approach that Star Wars had, and they'll just do like little short runs of episodes. But I guess not.
Well, and I could be mistaken. I could be thinking of something else. Let me check in. I don't want to be wrong, real quick.
Because if they are like the short little like 15-20 minute episodes, I really don't necessarily mind those. I think that's really been a big hit for Star Wars in particular, and I could see that being why Disney wanted Marvel to do something like that. But if they're longer than that, like 30-40 minute episodes, I just think sometimes that's just pushing it, especially like you said, right after a Fantastic Four weekend.
Yeah, I'm not finding the runtime on here real quick. So, but yeah, who knows? Oh, there it is. It looks like it's about 2 hours for the whole thing. So not an hour, but still yet like 30-minute episodes for animated stuff like that. That's just still quite a bit.
Yeah, no, it for sure can. I think really if it would have been like 15-minute episodes like we've seen with like the Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Sith, all that stuff, I feel like that could be like a really fun thing because it doesn't take up too much time. That's something you can watch literally on your lunch break at work, super easy. I think they should adopt that approach a little bit more rather than what we've seen with Marvel a lot with just doing a whole runtime, full episode length stuff.
Yeah, they either go too little or too much. Like like there's no in between with them. It's funny. Like on some of these live action, you're like, I really could have used like 15 minutes more of story. Like you really didn't nail it there. And then other times it's like, oh, why are we so long?
Looking at you, Echo.
Yeah, yeah. Looking at you, Echo. Please turn it off.
But that needed to be one episode and never brought up again.
Yeah. We also have coming out in August. All right, swapping away from Marvel a little bit, starting to run down. We got the Chief of War, a new Jason Momoa series on Apple TV, just dropped this weekend as well. Weekly releases. Have you heard anything about Chief of War? Are you excited about it? What?
No, I have been seeing a lot
anything?
of news about him though, but mostly just Dune related stuff as we're getting closer to the next Dune movie. But no, I haven't kept up with any of his other projects.
It's been pretty cool to see him shave. That was kind of crazy.
Well, they said it was like the first time in like 10 years or something crazy.
I think he said 7 years. 7 years is the first time he'd shaved, which makes sense. But yeah, this definitely seems like a pretty solid show, which Apple TV does a great job with their series. They really don't get enough credit for how good they're doing. It is weekly releases, and it's about a thrilling, unprecedented telling of a unification of the Hawaiian Islands from the indigenous perspective. So definitely something that looks a little very mature from that perspective, but it's got great reviews so far, and it may be one that I try to pick up when everything kind of dials down here in a little bit.
Yeah, I think you touched on it. Apple does really do a good job with all of their projects that they work on. I feel like you don't really necessarily hear like, oh, this was terrible. Usually everything's at least pretty watchable.
Yeah, no, for sure. I've heard some things that people turn off, but nothing that's like, oh, this was just the worst.
Yeah.
Now here's a kind of blast. King of the Hill season 14 drops today. Are you a King of the Hill fan? Have you ever watched that?
I don't think I've ever watched an episode of King of the Hill. Maybe like 5 minutes when it's on at someone's house randomly is the most exposure I've ever had to that show.
That's funny. I think King of the Hill is hilarious. My dad loved it, so we watched it growing up. So it was a staple of our house growing up. So it's pretty funny to see this kind of come back to life. I don't know that I'll be tuning in, but it is cool that it's back. I hope it's good. Keep some of the charm. The characters are just hilarious. So I probably will check it out at some point. Every now and then you need some stupid TV to turn on, and that fits the bill of that.
Yeah, sometimes it's like turn off your brain TV.
Oh yeah. When you've had a stressful day, you don't necessarily need to watch the Ted Bundy files that drops on the 7th. Yeah.
Yep. No, not at all.
Now for Chelsea, the Ted Bundy files, which drops on the 7th, a dialogue with the devil. That's kind of like straight up her alley. She loves serial killer murder mysteries. Jacob, how are you feeling about those?
I don't watch them too much, but my wife's the same way. She always liked watching all these things. I'm just like, I just don't want to put myself in a bad mood or be upset about something. So I usually just don't care too much for those.
Yeah, I don't really love introducing that into the household. I'm like, get it out, stop. Like, like no wonder you're double checking if the doors are locked. Like,
yeah,
you just watched 3 hours of serial killers. But yeah, Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy comes out on the 7th, and then on the 6th, on Wednesday, I skipped over this one, but Wednesday season 2 drops. I know you were thrilled with the first season. You were all about it. You said, I love Wednesday. Will you be picking up season 2?
No, absolutely not. I will not ever watch the first season. I will never watch the second season. This is like one of those things that is so not up my alley that like if you ever hear me talking about it or say that I've watched it, something is wrong. Like please check in on me, like make sure I'm not being held hostage. Like there's an issue.
Okay. I definitely will. this is probably something I won't check out for a long time until I'm just absolutely, out of things to watch. It's not something that I'm, super excited for. I did enjoy the first season, guilty pleasure wise. I think my wife would have liked it. I wish she would have watched it with me. Um, but we'll see. We'll see if she picks up the second season. But something else that comes out relatively soon, August 12th, we have Alien Earth. Alien Earth dropping in the Predator Alien series. Uh, Jacob, are you a fan of the Alien movies? Have you seen them?
No, I've never watched them. I feel like they would be something I would probably enjoy a little bit with like the action-esque scenes that they do have. I feel like there's been a lot of Predator stuff recently. I know they just
There
did an
has
animated
been.
series, like is it Predator, like Killer of Killers or something like that, like pitting them
Yeah.
up against other, which that's probably something I would also really enjoy. But it's never been something I've really, given the time of day to.
Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, it is a little bit older of a movie for you. It was before you were really kind of diving into movies. So it's an older franchise, but it does look good. It looks like great effects, and looks like it's probably going to be pretty interesting. I love Timothy Oliphant. I think he is very good. He's very charming. And I knew he's at the helm of this one. Sydney Chandler. I don't know anything that she's in, but she also looks to hold a large part here at the start of this one. So I don't know. It's maybe the intro into the Alien series. I'm curious. It doesn't seem like you have to watch anything else to enjoy this one, so that's always a good thing. And I'm curious. I'm curious how much they tie in with this one.
Yeah, I think
So
that would be like honestly, I feel the same. Like if I was told like you don't have to like this is brand new, like fresh start, I would be a little bit more enticed to. But it seems like with these type of shows, there's always something that you've had to have watched kind of previously because they reuse a lot of the same characters and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd be interested to see if this is like brand new.
yeah, which it could be, but also like you said, there's a tie-ins. But when those tie-ins are there but not necessary, that's also pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Another movie that kind of seems, or show that kind of seems a little bit like Reacher, starring Daniel Day Kim, is Butterfly. It follows a U.S. Intelligent operative when the consequences of his decisions from his past start to haunt him. This seems like one that is getting a little bit of buzz. It's coming out on Prime Video. It's a new original series. I think I might pick up this one. This one seems right up our alley as like a weekly release, and one that looks pretty good. I like Daniel Day Kim. He's very very solid in the lead. I've liked him ever since his Hawaii Five O days, which I used to watch. So this may be one. Have you heard of Butterfly? Has it been on your radar at all?
No, this was another one. I think I've heard about it because I've probably seen that he's in it. But other than that, I have not heard a whole lot about it.
Yeah. Which is kind of par for the course in all these action Amazon series. It does seem like they go by the wayside pretty quick.
Yeah.
But we do have quite a few shows coming out this season that seem to be as the movies dwindle down, the shows pick up. It is definitely, we've had a lull in shows for the last 2 months, and now here they come back again. And then one that'll be, big for most people in the comic book region, not for myself, but The Boys season 4 drops on the 19th. I think that's the final season of The Boys.
Mhm.
If you are a big Boys fan, you know, it's just not for me. It's just too much. So uh, it's coming out. If that's what you care to watch, go ahead and watch it. If you're looking for a recommendation from me though, you will never get it. It is a rough show. I turned that junk off.
It
um,
is extremely popular though,
it
so
is so popular.
yeah. I
I
feel like
just
it's one
think
of those
it's
shows.
terrible.
I've never watched it. I could see certain aspects of it I really enjoy because I know it's like very gory and like the action is crazy intense and like people are dying and stuff like that. And you guys know me, I'm all for that type of action. But I feel like I've heard also a lot of like it's just kind of mid as far as the story is
It's
concerned, and maybe that's
mid.
way wrong. But I don't know. It's something that maybe one day I would give a shot, but it's just I'm kind of same with you. It's just not up my wheelhouse right now.
Yeah. They then something else that's not up our wheelhouse, kind of the same. Well, you haven't tried it yet. Peacemaker. Peacemaker season 2 drops and on the 21st. And I know James Gunn's been all about this. It's crucial to the story. And I want to watch it. I do. I just, man, that first season was a start. It was a rough start, and maybe it got better, maybe it lightened up, but I didn't get through it. So have you made it through the first season yet? Have you tried to
No,
watch this?
I haven't even tried to watch it, but I feel like I will give it a shot here soon, just because with it this being part of the DC universe and the kickoff of all that stuff, I do want to give it a shot to see if it's something that can really catch my eye. We did see that little Peacemaker cameo in the Superman movie, and as you said, James Gunn really seems to be all about this show, and he's been about this kind of since he got on with DC. I feel like this has been like
His
his
little baby.
favorite thing to do. Um, so I feel like I'll give it a shot. But I think the most interesting thing about this, I saw someone was talking about, are DC and Marvel really back to competing? And someone made a really interesting post about, Marvel's kind of been more so about, putting everything together. Every episode of every show or movie that you watch is ultimately going to lead you to, the Avengers movies somehow, or there's going to be a tie-in in some form or fashion. One thing I thought was interesting is it seems like DC is kind of doing, it will eventually tie together at some point. I think those cameos will always be there, but they don't really seem as concerned about that as Marvel has. Like, I know, for example, the Clayface movie that's coming out is literally supposed to be a horror movie. Like, it is not like a comic book movie. It's literally supposed to be a horror movie, which is something Marvel would never do, right? Everything that they do, they want it to be more comic focused, based on the overall arcing story. And I do think that's an interesting thing that DC seems to have maybe found a little bit of a niche in, is like, there's going to be a DC project for everybody. Whether you're into horror movies, you're going to have the Clayface. Whether you're into the vulgar, aspect of Peacemaker, you're going to have that. Or if you're into the goody two shoe stuff of Superman, there's going to be that. So I think that's going to be an interesting thing to kind of follow throughout DC's, start of their, next big thing. Is if that really does hold true, is it ultimately going to be they want something for everybody, or is it going to eventually just be leading up to a big Justice League movie? I think that's an interesting topic that I think a lot of people are trying to figure out right now.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons they are starting with like a completely defined universe
Mm-hmm.
where it's so big and so massive and so many characters they don't have to tie together. In
Yeah.
Marvel, if something big happens, your characters have to interact with it. There's no, when the Eternals went off and the Eternals happened, everyone's like, this doesn't make sense in universe for our Avengers to not be there. Like, why didn't they show up? But in the DC universe that they are established, they've been around for 300 years. The world is used to the level of nonsense that's happening. So I kind of like that, and it does probably lend itself significantly better to not needing to watch everything when everything is doesn't have to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's good. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Peacemaker. Maybe I can find it on like Angel. Maybe get a VidAngel subscription that kind of censors some stuff out, and maybe I can deal with it then. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
It is really funny to bring it back up again, though. It is so funny. Like, if I used to be a huge fan of WWE when I was little, right? And John Cena was always like the goody two shoes of the WWE. Like, he never really did anything wrong. And then you throw him into this Peacemaker show, and he's like the most vulgar, like, worst guy ever. I just think that's so funny to kind of see that, like, range of acting that he has.
Yeah, dropping F bombs on Superman.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, he seems to be enjoying himself. I'll tell you that.
Yes, he is. It's
He
probably a breath
loves
of
the
fresh air
character.
for him.
Oh yeah. And then the last show that we're going to be talking about for August is Upload Season 4 drops. Now, this is a show that I've watched, with Chelsea. This was a really unique look at the universe and like what the future holds. People can upload their conscience into an afterlife program, and they can live digitally instead of that passing. They can spend their into like a virtual reality uh end of times. Kind of wild, crazy concept. There is some plays on religion there as well, and there's a group of people who truly believe that there's an actual afterlife, and then the people who believe that you should only be uploaded. That's the only way to live forever. So it's a pretty cool concept. I'm interested to see what happens in season 4. I haven't talked about it on this show at all. It's been a long time since the last season dropped. So pretty unique, pretty complex weirder story. It's not high quality television, but it's enjoyable nonetheless. If you got nothing else to watch.
Yeah, it's not one I've actually heard of, so it's
Yeah,
good to
no,
hear that.
it's a few years old, and it lost a lot of buzz when season two dropped. It had a lot of buzz for season one, then it just took forever. I think it was during COVID for season two to drop, and it just when you take that much time, it just everything kind of falls off.
Yeah,
So
we've kind of talked about that a lot recently with like Stranger Things. Sometimes you go on too big of a break, and we've talked about how like sometimes it is good for a break with something like Marvel, where we have so many projects. Sometimes you do want a breath of fresh air, take a step back, and be able to breathe and realize what it's like without those shows. But sometimes you can go a little too far, which we've seen with some shows do, especially recently. I feel like.
yeah, and we're talking like breaks like month to month, not like
Yeah.
with 4 years.
Yeah.
Let's take a
Yep.
4 year
Yep.
break. Everyone forgets the characters, the story plots, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm like, yeah, that's that show with Robbie Amell, and his head got cut off in a car crash. I don't really remember where we left the story at, but that's it for for TV shows. We do have a few movies coming out. This is going to be a little bit of a quicker one because really don't have too much going on in the realm of movies. We had one movie drop this last weekend that we haven't got to talk about, and that is the Naked Gun movie with Liam Neeson. Jacob, are you a fan of the '80s Naked Gun films?
I've never seen them, so no, I can't say I'm a fan of them.
Well, I haven't seen them either. So it's not just you, but everyone that loves those movies have said that this is just incredible. The people that went to the screening of this said that they were laughing so hard they were missing future jokes because they were laughing so hard at the last jokes. I want to see this movie. I Liam Neeson's deadpan comedy is some of the best in the business. It's hilarious because you don't think of him as a comedy actor because you think of him from like Taken and all
Hmm.
these other movies where he's deadly serious, and then you see him in stuff like A Thousand Ways to Die in the West, and he's just hilarious. And he is honestly a great comedic actor, and I want to see his take on this. It seems like it's going to be hilarious, and I want to see it. So, I'm gonna see if I can convince Shell. She saw the trailer and she said, "That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life." I like. I'm over there like excited, like hoping to go see it, and she's like, "That may be the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life." So probably not gonna get her to the theater to watch that one, but still, nonetheless, I am excited to watch this. It looks like a good return to comedies. So
Yeah, I did see a lot of people saying like we really did miscast Liam Neeson for most of his career, always putting him in like this super serious like killer role when we really should have just had him doing comedies the whole time. So I think that's funny that a lot of people have felt that same sentiment.
yeah, I mean it's hilarious to watch him deadpan. I mean even in like Ted 2 when he's buying a box of tricks and he's like asking like if it's okay if he buys this box of tricks and they're like yeah it's fine. And he's like but it says it's only for kids and like he's like no one's gonna come to my house and hunt me down if I buy this box of tricks that are only
He's
for
like
kids.
genuinely concerned about it.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's
Yeah.
a great scene. I can't recommend Ted 2, but if you want to watch a hilarious scene, go ahead and watch that one. It's a funny scene. But yeah, so The Naked Gun just came out. That was recently. It's got for a comedy to come out with a 7.1. That's pretty good on IMDb. Especially for a remake or a continuation of a beloved series. That's really saying something. I think Seth MacFarlane has a lot to do with this one. Uh, but yeah, so that's pretty cool. That one just came out. And then that's pretty much it last week. This upcoming week, we have a horror film coming out called Weapons. It's got Julia Garner, Josh Brolin, and Julia Garner just came out as Silver Surfer, and this is her next movie. And everyone says this is great. It is a horror film, so it's not quite up my alley, but apparently there's a bunch of children that go mysteriously missing at the same night at the same time, and it's just from there. It just that's pretty much all the description I've been able to see, and everyone says don't read anything about this. Um, just go watch it. So I am super intrigued. It has a lot of dark vibes. The TV show Dark, not like dark in theme, although it also seems dark in theme. But
Yeah, I don't know. Kids just mysteriously disappearing. That's pretty dark.
it does seem pretty dark. So I'm very intrigued because a lot of people that I like their opinions of movies say that this is, top notch, but also it has the label horror. So I'm very, very hesitant. Um, so who knows?
Yeah, I won't be
Who
watching
knows?
this one. I don't like getting scared. So
No, yeah. So anyway, that's there for all of you horror freaks that love the horror movies. You can go watch that one. Apparently, it's good. I won't be watching it in the theaters because I need the opportunity to turn it off if I'm not
if you
enjoying
get too scared,
and I'm not walking out of a movie
gotta
theater.
bring your blanket so you can hide under the covers if you get a
Oh
little too
yeah,
scared for some of those
oh
parts.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not so much the scaring as it is like the depending on how the horror theme goes. I'm not a big demonic theme, so if it's like serial killer and all those things, we can get by with that. But there's some other themes I'm just like, I can't watch that. Something that's way
Yeah.
more up my alley is Freakier Friday, which is coming out Friday.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
one's not up my alley either. I don't think I'm gonna be watching this one either.
Oh, you're not a Lindsay Lohan fan?
No, I remember watching the other one, like the first one when I was younger. I never really liked it then, so I don't think I'll enjoy this one either. I was just always thought like this is so stupid, but I know there's a lot of people that love it.
I love
So
Freaky Friday. Freaky Friday was right up my alley. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. I know Chelsea is over the moon excited for this movie. She loved the Freaky Friday movie significantly more than I did, and she saw this in the preview, and she was like, "I can't wait to watch that." So she's super excited. So yeah, Freakier Friday coming out this Freakier Friday coming out this Friday. So a lot of Fridays.
yes,
But you're not into this.
no, I feel like this is another one of those like we've seen it a lot with like, oh, we need some money. What's something that people used to love? Oh, let's bring back another Freaky Friday. That's kind of how I view this one. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully it's just actually a good movie, but I don't think I'll be watching this one.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm not gonna get. It's not gonna get my money probably, but who knows? It, it's a lower movie month. Not too much coming out, so maybe it does.
Yeah,
Who knows?
yeah. So if you, yeah,
Um, but next on the list, the following week, August 15th, Nobody 2 comes out. Now we talked about this when the trailer came out. It seems like John Wick kind of same vibe. You didn't see the first one. I haven't seen the first one. It seems good, but I don't know. There's just so much to watch. It's hard to watch it all.
yeah. This is like one of those things. Like if I'm gonna watch these, I haven't watched the John Wick movies, so like this is not something I'm gonna watch. I would
You know,
rather just start that series.
we really need to park on that. How in the world has
I
Action
know,
Jacob,
I
Jacob
know.
loving blood and guts, shooting people in the head, not watch John Wick?
Well, this goes back to the same theme of like little kid Jacob never watching like any Disney movie ever. Like never watched The Lion King. Like I've watched like there's so many Disney movies that I've never
Wait, you
watched.
still haven't
So
watched The Lion King?
no, I will probably never
Uh,
watch The Lion King.
uh,
um, but yeah, it's kind of the same vein. That's why I feel like it's surprising to a lot of people. But if you realize like there's a lot of movies I've never watched, you're probably like, okay, it kind of makes sense. And
no, John Wick doesn't make sense. Does not make
it
sense.
doesn't. No matter what, no matter how
No
you cut
matter
it.
no matter how you cut this, you are literally on a podcast talking about movies, and you love action movies, blood and guts, and you haven't watched John Wick.
That's true. I might
That
be a
this needs to be corrected.
I might be a hypocrite at this point,
Yeah,
But
I need some backup. I need some backup. I need some people to chime in, and we need to get him to watch the John Wick series. It's worth it. They're great movies. They're literally great movies.
oh, one of these days I'll get around to it, and it'll be
I don't.
glorious. And I'll probably be like, "How did I never watch these?" And I'll probably have to go out and buy the Funko Pops, and I'll probably buy like a poster, and like it'll be a whole thing. But maybe that's part of the reason why I haven't got to it. Is because I know I'll love it, and it's kind of fun, like having something to look forward to eventually watching, if that makes sense.
It's funny because it would be hilarious if it was the complete opposite.
I hated it.
Like you hated it, you didn't like it at all.
I
So
would be kind of surprised. That would really surprise me, to be honest with you.
yeah, well, You never know. It's all up in the air. I think you'd love it. The action's too good for you not to like it.
That's what I'm saying.
But
That's all I need, really.
yeah, good action and a decent story. Jacob's super happy.
I don't even need a decent story.
Well,
Just give me,
that's true.
just
Yeah,
give,
you did like the Captain America Red Hulk fight.
yeah. I thought Brave New World was pretty good. So like, I clearly don't need much.
Story's low on Jacob's list.
Yeah,
Um,
not a big point for me.
yeah, but man, that's about it. We got a few more lower movies. Like we got the Honey Don't. That's the new Aubrey Plaza Chris Evans movie. It's about what is it about? It's about that private investigator who delivers a series of strange deaths that are tied to a mysterious church. Um, it's definitely going to be a more mature movie. It looks like it's not getting great ratings so far from the critics that have seen the release. So I don't know how this is going to be. Chris Evans plays a very very corrupt preacher. So definitely probably not one that I'm going to see, but we'll see we'll see how it is. Chris Evans has just been all over the place since he's stopped
He needs to get
Captain
back to
America.
carrying the shield or something, dude. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't think he's lost his identity.
we need him to be uplifting. We need some uplifting roles from Chris Evans.
Yeah.
He
What
was
is the
too
saying?
uplifting for too long, and now he's
What
like,
did Iron Man say to Spider-Man? He is like, if you, it's something about the suit, like if the
if
suit
you're
makes you,
nothing
then
with
you
this,
don't deserve it.
yeah, if
Yeah.
you're nothing without a suit, you don't deserve the suit.
Yeah. This is how it's getting with Chris Evans without the shield, right? Like,
Get back on track. Come on, man. What's going on with you?
Well, strap the shield back on. Like, let's forget all this other stuff. But
Yeah, but apparently this isn't getting great reviews, which makes sense from the trailer that I saw. You know, not super great looking, but who knows? Um, and then the last movie coming out, which does seem to look very good, is Caught Stealing, and that's the new Vincent D'Onofrio Austin Butler film. So, Caught Stealing looks very good. Down and out ex baseball player tries to find himself, and he finds himself in the criminal underbelly of the New York in the 1990s.
which I mean, just based off those two actors alone, I think that's like eye catching. Like just a story between those two and seeing how they interact with each other. So that one could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's got some other good actors in it as well. But yeah, no, it definitely looks like it's gonna be a good film. Again, a little bit more mature side. We'll see. We'll see how it comes with the ratings. I don't think it's kind of crazy. I don't there's not really too much about this movie out yet. And it does drop this month, but it's one of those more like probably Oscar. Definitely not a box office hit, more of those low indie film kind of look to it.
Yeah.
Which is really where Austin Butler likes to sit. The about the only thing that he's done blockbuster has been like Elvis, and then he did the Dune movie, obviously, but very stylistic, very character piece driven. Like he is definitely a true and true actor. Austin Butler's awesome. So
Yeah, he's not one
I'll
of those
generally
characters. Go ahead.
go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
He's not one of those characters you'll see like, oh, he's in Marvel now, or oh, he's gonna be in the next Star Wars project. He's just not that type of person.
And he might, end up being there, but nah, it seems like he is really like he is very true to the form of like traditional acting and really loves kind of putting on that. He did the Bike Riders last year, which was a phenomenal movie from a cinematic and acting perspective. Not a great movie in general, just because the subject matter wasn't great, but um, I'm excited to see what else he comes out with. It'll be cool. It'll be cool to see him in the future because he really is very selective with what he does.
Yeah,
very selective. So, but that's it. That's all I got. That's the rundown.
Yeah,
Most excited movie of the
month.
year, of the month. Most excited movie of the month. Freakier Friday. Is that you?
No, I don't think I have a horse in this race. I think this
No
is going to be a
horse.
pretty quiet month for me. I don't have anything too exciting that I'm like, oh, I got to go see this one. But what about you?
Oh, I'm excited since you don't have a horse in this race, nothing's catching your eye. I'm excited for you to watch John Wick this month.
I'm just gonna watch all of them. How many are there? Is there 4?
There's 4 now,
4,
and
yeah.
Ballerina, so technically 5. But
and that one just came out.
It just came out. Yeah, it's not even on streaming yet, for free. But yeah, probably for me, Caught Stealing with Austin Butler. It's kind of like the Bike Riders excitement for me. Like, I think it's just gonna be a super solid film. I don't know if I'll get to the theater and watch it, but when it comes out, I'm excited to watch it. Coming to my home, kind of skip some of those scenes that may be throughout it. So we'll see. But yeah, no, definitely a lower movie on the excitement for me. And then also even the TV shows, not too much. It's really catching my eye.
It's a good catch up month. If there's been some stuff you're wanting to watch, you have time to do it now.
Yeah, for sure. You'll be expecting some rankings from us in the upcoming weeks, is what we're saying.
Maybe a John Wick ranking. You never know.
Ooh, John Wick ranking.
Don't count on it. Don't count on it.
Yeah, having Jacob watch 5 movies in a month, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Especially
with your busy schedule.
I got a lot going on right now. I'm in I thought when I graduated college I'd never be in another class again, and lo and behold, here I am studying for another exam. So no, I don't know if you'll catch me watching any John Wick quite yet.
Okay, well maybe soon.
Maybe soon.
Yeah. Well, that's code for not soon.
Too many tabs have been pulled on me for making commitments that I didn't keep, so I gotta be very careful about what I commit to on this podcast.
That's right. But we'll see. Guys, thanks for tuning in to this rundown. We really enjoy doing these and kind of getting the show what's coming up. If there's something you're excited for and we completely trashed all over it or didn't even speak on it, let us know down in the comments below. You can comment on Spotify. You can get us on Instagram. You can find us in all the places that you might want to, even in Discord. You can join the Discord server and get a little sneak peek into us. You want to play some games? Hop on Discord. We're rarely there, but sometimes we are.
And the one time we are here, you guys don't have access to the room that we use.
Oh, that's funny.
You can at least see us in there. You can tell when we're recording the podcast.
You can't. No, you can't see it.
Oh, never mind. So you guys will have no idea.
Oh man. Anyway, that's it for the weekly fix. This week's episode of Weekly Fix. It's been a bit of a different look at one, but I hope you guys enjoyed listening to us ramble on about movies that we're not gonna watch.
Or shows we're not gonna watch either.
All right, we'll catch you next week, guys. Thanks for listening.